Why is my heart pounding? Oh my goodness, I'm like...
All right, welcome back to another episode of South Haven's Hot Shots, the show where we are attempting to recreate the YouTube sensation Hot Ones, where we ask a series of questions of our own celebrities, each round intensifying in the subject matter of the question and also in the intensity of the heat of the chicken wings. On the Hot Ones show, you often see different celebrities, movie stars, and musicians being interviewed. This summer, we're interviewing our own set of celebrities, our South Haven staff. And so I'm happy to have with me today Terri Roberts, who is our senior adult minister. Welcome, Terri. We're glad you're here.
Nice to be here.
And I know that you are terrified by this. Terri does not like hot things. Spice is not her game, and so she is being a real trooper by doing this. Just to remind those of you that maybe have not seen one of our episodes so far, this summer we're interviewing our own celebrities, our South Haven staff, and we care about our staff. And so I have assured Terri that we're not going to try to just give her a bunch of gastrointestinal issues and put her in the ER. In the Hot Ones series on YouTube, the hottest sauce that they use is 2.5 million Scoville units. Our hottest sauce here is 1/10 of that, so just 250,000. But that still packs a punch of spice. The Scoville unit is what's typically used to describe the heat index of different hot sauces. And so, like I said, the hottest ones that you can get on the market are about 2.5 million Scoville units. And to put that in perspective, regular Tabasco sauce is about 5,000 Scoville units. And so we're starting at less than that and going to significantly more than that. So I think we're ready for the first round. The first round, we call it the basic brimstone round. This is kind of just a teaser round. It's a get us started round. It's a warm-up round. The questions here are light. The sauce is very mild. Our basic brimstone sauce is Sweet Baby Ray's buffalo wing sauce. So this is just a very basic buffalo sauce, and this is even their mild version of it. So if this one's too hot for you, then buckle up. We're going to have some real fun as we go up. So, and go ahead and just take a bite, see what you think.
It's okay.
It's okay. It's okay. You know, buffalo sauce kind of has a tangy flavor to it, and again, that's a pretty mild version of that. Some people like buffalo sauce, some don't. This only has 550 Scoville units, so as I said in another episode, that's a little hotter than water.
Yeah.
You know, it's pretty mild and weak. So the questions that we ask in this series are just again kind of just warm up questions, just to get you talking and all that. If you could pick up a new skill, like if there was just some new skill or talent that instantaneously you could acquire, you wouldn't have to practice for years or spend a lot of money. But if there's something that you can't do right now that you could start doing, what do you think that would be?
Well, first thing that came to mind is learn how to sew. And I know that's boring. I know that doesn't mean anything to a lot of people, but I really love my grandkids, and I love some of the clothing that has the little ruffles and the little stuff and everything. So I would probably pick up sewing, and then I could help my best friend make quilts and do things like that. So that would probably be what I would do.
You know, that's for many people, that's almost kind of been a dying art. I remember when I was growing up, my grandmother made a lot of my clothes as a kid, a lot of the things that my sisters, their Easter dresses almost every year. My grandma would make those things, and you just don't find a lot of people that make their own clothes anymore.
No, I wore some clothes back in the day that you know, I had made, or not me personally, but my mom made and stuff. So I wouldn't be caught dead in them back then, but you know, but now I want to do it for my grandkids because I think it's cute.
So that they could feel like they would be caught dead and not there. So, well, that'd be an interesting thing. I know that my daughter Addison, this was a few years ago, I think she was even just in high school, maybe even junior high, for Christmas, she had asked for a sewing machine. She wanted to learn to sew some things and made some different things through the years that were really neat. So that would be a cool school. That's cool. I remember for me, when I was in junior high, we all had to take kind of an exploratory class. We had to take a foreign language, we had to take art, and we had to take a semester of home ec, and we had to do a semester of shop. And the only thing that I really can remember that I learned from home ec is I learned to sew buttons, to sew a button back onto a
Very
shirt.
important to
and
do.
that is a skill that I have used many times.
Yes,
I've
yes.
popped a lot of buttons off a lot of shirts, and I've learned how to sew those back
A
on.
little funny is my major was to be home ec.
Oh, wow.
I don't cook, I don't sew, and I don't clean. So anyway.
There you go. There you go. Very good. All right, we are ready for round 2 now. We're going to take it up just a little bit here, Terri. This is called the Burning Bush round, and this round uses the Kalahari's Rhino Peri Peri sauce. The Peri Peri is the hottest pepper that you can find in all of Africa. This one is heavily diluted, so this is their mild version. I've had the hot version, but many of you know that I collect rhino figurines. I got rhinos all through my office, so I have a bottle of this Peri Peri in my office, which was the hot sauce, and I enjoyed it thoroughly. But because I care about my staff, we've gone with the mild version here. It's a little bit different flavor, a little bit more intense. This was only just 550 Scoville units. This one comes up to 10,000, but that's still significantly less than a lot of the other things that we're going to try. So go ahead and try that, take a bite, see what you think. Not too bad. Not too bad. Kind of has an onion flavor to it. That's kind of the first thing I noticed when I bite into it is the onion. It's pretty exotic sauce, but has a little bit of citrus in it. I think there's a little bit of peach to it.
Yeah.
But again, not too intense.
I was waiting for the fire to happen, but it's okay.
Not,
it's okay.
You're not going to have the fire this round. So
Not this round, okay.
one more bite there, and then wash my hands off just a little bit. It's described as a mild blend with a subtle smokiness and then a citrusy sweetness to it. So, all right. In this round, we kind of take it up just a little bit and get a little bit more personal in this one. And so, you know, I've worked with you now for 17 years, which is just crazy. And you've had a couple of different roles here. But your story, walking with the Lord, happened well before that.
Yes.
So just maybe share for some people may not know, but just when did you first become a believer and a follower? Was that when you were a kid? Was it later in life? Just kind of share with us the story of how you began.
I was a little girl.
Okay.
Grew up in a Christian home. Mom and Dad took me to church every Sunday and every Wednesday and maybe in between.
Sure.
My dad wrote poetry for church.
Oh, wow.
He was quite a writer, and Mom always taught Sunday school and that type of stuff. So, you know, growing up, you just kind of automatically think, okay, what's the next progression? When I was 11 years old, Janita Richmond, beautiful, beautiful Sunday school teacher, was talking with all of us kids and asking us, what our beliefs were, or what our salvation story was. And I was kind of like, well, I don't really have one. And so she did a little story and a little program about being saved. And do you have a ticket to heaven? And so got to thinking about my ticket to heaven. And I knew that I loved the Lord, and I knew that I was a sinner. And so after she and I talked and went through the process and stuff, I became a believer. And that was 57 years ago.
Wow.
57 years ago. I'm not saying that it hasn't been.
So you're 1 or 2 then?
Yeah. I was 11.
Yeah.
I was 11. So anyway,
Very cool. You know, I think that's kind of a similar story for a lot of us that grew up in church.
Right.
It's just, we knew about Jesus. We knew that Jesus loved us, and there was an element of us that loved Jesus. But until we came to that point where we really, truly confessed and repented of our sin,
Right.
He wasn't our Lord yet until that point. So very, very cool. Very cool. All right, it is time for round 3, and round 3, we call it the fiery furnace round. This round, we are going up again. We're more than doubling our heat intensity of the last one, the Peri Peri. We came in at 10,000. This one is the Torchbearer sauce. Torchbearer is a sauce that is often featured on Hot Ones. They have a lot of different flavors, and usually some of their hottest sauces. This one is one of their mid-range sauces called the Son of Zombie, and so you can imagine what is involved in that. This one comes in at 27,000 Scoville heat units. Son of Zombie is a blend of sweet and smoky with a slow burn that is filled in with the wrath of the living dead. And so you can just imagine what this one's going to be like. So let's dig in and see how we do with the Son of Zombie.
Whoa.
Now, see, I don't find that one to be hot. There is some spice.
Do you not have the afterburn?
And it's a slow burn.
Making my eyes water
I'm starting to feel it on my tongue a little bit.
Yeah.
It's not so much affecting my sinuses yet. These last two, those are the sinus clearers. But yeah, that one has to me, it has a good flavor. I sense that smoky flavor in it. But you can definitely feel the peppers kind of sitting on the back and the sides of your tongue. And if you swallow too fast, and milk is a great way to help dissipate that and dilute that. So
my mouth is on fire.
So as we, again, continue on into the fiery furnace, we get maybe a little bit more personal. One question I ask here is, who has been one of, or even some of, just maybe some of your greatest spiritual mentors or ministry mentors, people that you've kind of watched, been trained by, been encouraged by, and developed by, who have been the people that really poured into you to bring you to where you are now?
Well, most of y'all don't know her at all, Miss Winnie Tuckness.
Yes. Yeah.
Winnie, when I first started coming to South Haven, I guess Derek was 2, and I was looking for an opportunity to serve, but yet maybe get involved a little bit more and whatnot. And I asked her, what are some things that I can do around here? And she said, well, let's talk. And so got to know her, went out and got to know her on a personal basis. And after that, I started learning from her. Everything I would say that I have done has been influenced by Winnie. She has touched so many lives, and she guided me. She was there for me through a lot of the hard times and then some of the fun times and the easy times. So,
and you were just kind of starting out in ministry and service when I was here the first time. I would say my first tour of duty back in the 90s. But you were kind of serving alongside Winnie, kind of as her assistant, and did that for a number of years.
I did. I did her assistant. I did Mother's Day Out. I helped start a little bit of the activities and some of the different crafts and stuff there, and then just one door opened and another one closed, and eventually I became her assistant and a preschool minister, and then
eventually became her successor when Winnie retired.
And what shoes I had to fill. Oh my goodness.
It was nice having her here, though, still kind of doing that sounding board.
And, she was so wonderful. If you had questions or whatever, she's always been there for me, for ministerial questions, for personal questions, for just friends.
Yeah. And then I'm trying to remember about how many years between Winnie's retirement and when you moved into your current role, you served about 10, almost 12 years in children's ministry, our children's minister, and doing all the things, running all those programs and all. And then here just a few years ago, we moved you into a new role. We jokingly say we moved you from one kind of diapers to another kind, as our senior adult minister.
And I love it. I love it.
Very good. Well, you're doing a tremendous job.
Thank you.
People love you, and you're doing great things there and having a lot of fun. All right, we are ready for round 4 now, and this is called the refiner's fire. So just like in the scriptures, this is where God gets a hold of you and is going to purge some things out of you with this. We're going up in some intensity here. Refiner's fire round is where we're going to ask a series of rapid fire questions. Most of these questions are pretty fun and almost silly. The sauce that we're using here is Buffalo Wild Wings Mango Habanero sauce. This is personally my favorite sauce. When I go to Buffalo Wild Wings, this is usually what I get. It's their third hottest sauce after Blazing and Wild, which Wild is just hot for the sake of hot. This one has a really good flavor. It comes in at a scorching 70,000 Scoville heat units. So again, we're jumping up from where we were on Son of Zombie there. Well, this one has a really good flavor. It's got a sweet, tangy, citrusy flavor, but it also has that good old habanero pepper in it that has that slow burn that lingers and can even be a little fierce at times. So I'm going to challenge you to try into this, see what you think. So again, I love this, but
my nose is running now.
She's ready to retire. She's about ready to tap out and quit. Again, I love the flavor. The milk does help dissipate it a little bit. Sometimes I'll dip it in ranch sauce, not really to dilute the flavor. I just like the flavor of it, but some good stuff there. So. Okay, well, while you are suffering over there, I'm going to throw out some of our rapid fire questions. Again, most of these questions are just silly, they're fun, but on our staff, we've got some people that are coffee drinkers, some that are not. Who's the biggest coffee snob on staff?
I only know 3 that drink coffee. Okay. John, Colton, and Karen.
Okay, who's the biggest snob?
Probably John.
Probably John, yeah. John and Colton are pretty close to each other. Anybody that has their own coffee grinder that they carry around with them, they're just, they're not drinking Folgers.
No,
They've got to have the special stuff from special blends and all that. So, all right, when you're flying, some people prefer a window seat, some like an aisle seat, some always get stuck in the middle. Where are you when you're flying?
I would prefer either the aisle or the window. Okay. I don't want to be stuck in the middle.
Sometimes I get stuck there, especially on international flights, which are the worst when you're on a long haul flight stuck in the middle.
The belly's grumble.
Yeah,
just let you know.
Oh, it's already feeling.
It's hitting here.
The body is rejecting this. Some people when they have like a heart or kidney that's exchanged, their body rejects it. She's rejecting this wing right now already. So, if we all got locked in the church and the only thing to survive and live on was grape juice and communion wafers, who's going to last the longest of our group?
I have no clue. That is hysterical.
Who could live the longest on just those things?
Oh my goodness. Okay.
If they have nothing else to eat, you only get grape juice and communion wafers. Who's going to last the longest of us?
I'm going to say Brandy.
That's
Brandy.
seeming to be kind of the consensus of the team.
She's totally a vegetarian.
Yeah, pescatarian. Well, we're going to do something different. We're going to do something different with her. But
I'd say Brandy. Yeah.
Exactly. She could live on just the juice and the carbs. I'm going to have meat after about 12 hours. So definitely. There's a lot of talk in the news right now about aliens and UFOs and all that stuff in the world. If aliens landed on Earth and they landed in your backyard and demanded that you take them to your leader, who are you taking them to?
You.
Oh, good answer. You're so sweet.
You're my leader. Come on now.
I don't know about that. Okay. If you were a baseball player, what would be your walk-up song?
Okay, I have a couple. Okay. Bad. Bad
to the bone. Which is your ringtone.
Yes, it is. And then could be Wild Thing.
Wild Thing. All right. That's a good baseball song.
Yeah, it is a great baseball song.
Yeah. Excellent. All right. What office supply would best represent your personality?
Okay. So I would say it'd have to be a flexible ruler.
Oh, the bendy rulers.
The bendy ruler, because you have to bend and you have to give and you have to take.
Sure.
You have to measure up, but you got to be flexible.
Very good. Good answer. Good answer. I don't think I would have been able to come up with that one. So, if our office turned into a reality show, what do you think that show would be called?
Oh, okay. The good, the bad, the ugly. I don't know.
I'm not even going to ask who the ugly are and all that.
No
You'd be in the good. I don't want to know who the ugly are. So, although we know. If you were stranded on a deserted island and there was only one food that you could have the rest of your life, a lifetime supply of that food, what would it be? Like,
Well, my mother's doctor, which was my doctor too, he said there's rice is full of all the different nutrients and whatnot and stuff. So that would be probably what I would say, because I want to be healthy. It could sustain me for longevity. But if it was my favorite food, it'd have to be pizza.
Okay, so pizza. So Terri would either live a long time on rice, or she would die a very joyful death after consuming hordes of pizza for the rest of her life. Okay, excellent. And then the last question here in this round, it is a question that is deeply theological and philosophical, and there is a right answer to it. Is Die Hard a Christmas movie?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, good answer.
Yeah. I kind of know that answer.
That is the right answer.
I've heard you say it many times.
Well, just because I say it doesn't mean that it's right, but it is right, and that's why
Christmas trees in it. And
Christmas trees. It has Christmas music. It has one of the greatest Christmas carols of all time, "Christmas in Hollis" by Run DMC.
There you go.
It's Christmas movies. So excellent. It's time for round 5. Round 5 is our final, not final round. So there is an optional 6th round. We'll see whether she's willing to do that. But we call round 5 the weeping and gnashing of teeth round. This round takes the heat index up 10 times what we had in round 2. So this is 10 times hotter than round 2. This sauce is called Pepper North's Black Cherry Reaper. So it is a Canadian sauce that comes from way up north in Ontario. Colton actually put me onto this a couple of years ago, and I like the flavor. It has black cherry, so there's kind of a sweet flavor to it, but it also has the dreaded Carolina Reaper, one of the 2 hottest peppers that you can get on the open market, the Carolina Reaper and the Trinidad Scorpion. There are hotter peppers that have been manufactured, like Pepper X and all that, but this is a pretty strong one. It comes in at, like I said, 100,000 Scoville units, so it is warm to be sure. And in this round, while we throw fire down Terri's throat, we are also going to shift from some of the fun questions and the humorous questions to a little bit more serious and spiritual. So I'll let you take a dab at that. We'll see what you think of Pepper North's Black Cherry Reaper. I don't think it's as hot as it comes advertised, but like many...
My lips are burning.
Like many sauces, it does kind of have a slow burn. The cherry is very faint. You can taste a little bit of the sweet just very faintly there. But the longer you sit here and chew and the more you swallow, it's like, It's
hitting. It's getting hot in here.
It is getting hot in here. It's getting hot in here and the mouth. There's a little punch that's packed into it. So I like it. I don't like it as much as the mango habanero. I feel like that just has a little bit sweeter flavor, but that is good. I do like it, and
I probably like that one better.
For a Canadian sauce, it's pretty darn good.
Fire.
So in this one, you've been at this for a couple of years now as our senior adult minister, but as you've been in this role, and there's a lot of different facets to your role. I mean, some of it is the fun part, taking people on trips and having activities, to just keep people engaged and fellowshipping. But there's also a lot of ministry that goes into it. What are some of the things that you've really seen and identified that maybe are just issues and challenges that senior adults face? And I know that's an extremely broad question. to a certain extent, even though we always tell you that you're much younger than you are in that group. You're one of them.
Mariah reminds me every day.
But you're also dealing with people, a very diverse group of people who are, 55 plus. For 55 to 95, there's a lot of range. What are some of just the things that you've recognized and that you see that seniors deal with?
Well, of course, we are at the stage of life where the end is closer than the beginning. And so you have different challenges with health. You have different challenges not being able to stay in your home. You have challenges losing loved ones, spouses. And so I feel like those areas are probably the ones that are the most challenging, yet the most rewarding. I've been through it. I've been through the grief part. I've been through the highs and the lows of loving someone and losing someone. And then, the first year you get through all the firsts. And then the second year you're like, oh, it's harder the second year than it is the first year. And then you're high one day and all of a sudden you hear a song or a memory comes up and you start grieving over things. That's tough. And I'm seeing a lot of my friends move into 55 plus places, or even some of my friends are going through with their families, having to put their families into homes or losing their moms and dads now. And so just a different phase of life, but it all has its rewards.
The peppers were supposed to make us tear up, not the subject, not the subject matter, and all of that. As you think about that, and not only, as you said, you've not only ministered to people and continue to minister to people in those phases of life, but you've been through some of that yourself. Larry, one of our dearest friends, you married him, and we went through that with him after his bout with pancreatic cancer. And how does the church help in that and aid in that when someone's going through life issues, whether it's just the transition of health and physical abilities, mental, cognitive abilities, grief? Where does the church come into that? What's been your experience and what's been your ministry? Just
knowing that you guys are there. I mean, just having the fellowship and the friendships to go and say, hey, I'm having a rough day today. Idella Warden writes me every year about the time of Larry's death. And that has meant the world to me. And just being there for somebody, praying with them, just knowing that we're loved and somebody cares.
Well, and knowing that you're not alone in those situations.
Not alone.
I mean, one of the chief metaphors we find in Scripture is that we are the body of Christ, and so sometimes we get to be that hand and that the hands and feet. Sometimes we get to be that shoulder to cry on and lean on when Jesus isn't physically present with us. When the body comes along and does that. So, very cool. Very cool. It is time for our sixth round, which truly is our final round. We don't go any higher or hotter than this. We call this the Bowl of Wrath. And you can imagine what that is like. The Bowl of Wrath is an optional round. So, Terri, you do not have to do this. Should you choose to attempt it, there are some benefits. We will knock 500 years off your time in purgatory. Now, of course, we're Baptists. We're Baptists and we don't believe in purgatory, but we just thought we would throw that out there to kind of sweeten the pot for you a little bit. The real incentive is if you do this, not only do you get bragging rights at staff meeting, but you have a little bit of street cred around church that, hey, I tried the hottest thing that they threw at me and I lived to tell about it. So our Bowl of Wrath sauce is a sauce that a friend of mine who was living in New Orleans at the time gave me a number of years ago called Scorned Woman. And so you can imagine how hot that is. Hell hath no fury like a woman scorned. It comes in at a whopping 250,000 Scoville heat units. Now that is only a tenth of the hottest sauce they use on hot ones, but still this one punches you in the mouth. It slaps you upside the face when you try it. And so it is chock full of an undiluted mix of red habaneros and green jalapeno peppers. And so I'm going to at least try this one, and we'll see if Terry is brave and tough and wants the street cred, and if she will try it herself.
Gotta go for it. Come on now.
We've built it up so much. You've got to try it.
Gotta do it.
Hey, you only live once.
Well, this is true.
This could be the end of it. So let's try Scorned Woman here.
Call 911.
I think you're going to find, much like the Canadian one, it's not hot at first, but here it comes.
Yeah.
Here it comes. It shows up to the party. It shows up a little bit late to the party. This pepper sauce is kind of like the people that come into worship during the announcement time. They've missed the opening song. They've missed the call to worship, but they show up and their seat is taken and they're mad now. So, yeah. All right. So you're feeling it, huh?
I'm feeling it.
Okay.
Yeah, the nose is running and the lips are... They're there, but they're almost numb from the. Oh wow, it's starting to really burn.
Yeah.
And I didn't take a really.
I love it.
Bite. Oh my god!
No, that's just a tiny bite. So imagine eating a whole helping of that. Like
it's burning here now.
Yeah. Just keep going down.
Yeah,
keep on going down.
Okay.
So you were in children's ministry for a number of years, and one of the things we try to teach our kids is we want our kids to learn the books of the Bible.
Yeah, well.
And there's a lot of books of the Bible. Like the Bible's not just one book. The Bible is 66 books.
Yes.
So. As the fire consumes you internally, can you recite the 66 books of the Bible in order?
Used to.
Okay.
I can sing a few of them. I can try.
Okay.
Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, Deuteronomy.
We're 5 in, 61 to go.
Joshua, Judges, Ruth, first and second. Samuel? Is it Samuel? No. Oh my gosh. I forgot. Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, Acts and letters of Romans, 1st and 2nd Corinthians, Galatians, and Ephesians, 1st and 2nd. Yeah. Philippians, Colossians, I forgot them all.
First Thessalonians. First and 2nd.
Timothy, Titus.
Kind of unknown guy from Colossians.
Oh gosh, yeah. James, Hebrews, James, Titus. Did I say
said Titus?
Okay.
Philemon.
Oh, Philemon. Okay.
And then you get the numbered ones, like
1st and 2nd Peter, 1st, 2nd, 3rd John, Jude, and Revelation.
Okay. You got most of the New Testament there. And again, Terry has a 5-alarm fire going off
I'm
in
also 67.
6-7. I very much tried to refrain from doing that on June 7th on Sunday. Going, hey, welcome to 6-7. So, but when you are 67, you get to
You got to live it.
So.
You got to live it. Yeah.
Well, hey, I commend you for even attempting the hottest wing that we're throwing at you. So you got street cred. You can tell all your friends and senior adult ministry, hey, I went as hot as they could throw it at me.
There you go.
Live to tell about it. So Terry, thanks for being part of the Hot Shots here at South Haven. Hope that you all have enjoyed watching another episode of Hot Shots. We will have another episode up next week. We'll be doing this all summer with all of our different staff members. Hope to see you Sunday as we gather back for worship. Until then, enjoy the Lord, walking with Him each day, and go enjoy some hot wings too. God bless you. Have a great week.
Yeah. See ya.
Cool. You survived.
I know that song.
Yeah.